Afternoon. I also want to express just a ton of gratitude. This is a really incredible conference, and I've just had a great time the past couple days. I'm humbled, I guess, because okay. I'm humbled because I was invited to speak by, as the story goes, by two people who had never met me, talking and deciding that I would be a good speaker for this conference. And what my bio says about me is part of the truth about me, but it's really not what qualifies me to stand before you today. And I'm really here based on the lessons I've learned through failure, and those lessons are uniquely mine, but I think they're also common enough to be relatable. I've spent the last several years of my life trying to understand how to teach pain science into the patient narrative, into each patient's story. And I really do take quite a bit of pride in being able to walk this tightrope, particularly relative to my other physician colleagues, between validating the patient experience and also being able to speak to the truth of what pain science means and what those implications are, but doing that in a way that reassures and empowers and gives hope. And that's what we're all here trying to learn how to do, right? So the interesting thing is, I don't always do that very well. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but sometimes I get it wrong, like really wrong. And my analogies fall flat, or the person doesn't feel heard, or my sequence of delivery is not what they're ready to hear. And then even more frequently, I'll encounter colleagues who aren't open to hearing about pain science because they already understand pain, or they're just not open to hearing from me about how to do a better job with something they already have a file for. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah, it's pretty common. So before we go any further, I want to revisit the invitation and say that what I first experienced was a combination that was probably 80% anxiety and 20% excitement, and it was really because I felt kind of more of an imposter. Like, what do I have to do? What credibility do I have to give people motivation to go back to our jobs tomorrow, inspiring people, and not feeling overwhelmed with all of this stuff that we've just been fed over the past couple days. Rajam's emails to me said, I'd like you to be kind of a motivational speaker, and I was sitting there thinking during our last talk that we just had that, but I think. The anxiety and the imposter syndrome for me is it really arises out of the fact that I don't conceive myself as a motivational speaker, and I think